Hey guys, let's make some creamy buttercream frosting. This is the recipe that I use for all of my cakes and most of my cakes and most of my cupcakes. This recipe is super easy. It's very creamy, very delicious. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it. Into my mixing bowl, I add 1 pound of butter, which is basically 4 sticks of butter. Now, make sure this is butter and not margarine. So you can do sweet cream butter. You guys can use salted. I prefer unsalted butter. So I go with my 1 pound of butter, which is 4 sticks. I let that mix on low and then medium high until my butter is soft. From there, I proceed to add 2 pounds of powdered sugar. Now, I do my sugar in 2 increments. I have an 8-quart mixing bowl. You guys, if you have something smaller, you may want to do a couple of more increments, maybe 3 increments. This is just going to be 2 increments. So I add my first pound of sugar into the mixing bowl. I let that mix on low. The reason why I do increments is solely because my mixing bowl, even though it's 8 quarts, if I try to add the full 2 pounds or the full bag of powdered sugar, it's just going to be a huge mess. Even if I start my mixer on low. For me, I try to work as clean as I can, so I don't want to have to go back and have a huge mess to clean up. So this just works for me. So then I'm going to go ahead and add in my 2nd pound of sugar into my mixing bowl. Now, when I add my sugar, I'm not going to let it mix all the way. I'll just let it mix until I don't see any more powder before I add my last increment of powdered sugar. So after that, we're going to mix it on low and add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We'll let that mix in a little bit. We don't want it to be completely mixed just yet because we have a few more ingredients to add. So we'll continue to let the sugar and butter mixture mix on low. From there, we're going to add 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 3 teaspoons for me is perfect. It tastes so good. If you guys want to dial it back and do 2, that's perfectly fine as well. But you want to make sure that when your client is trying your vanilla buttercream or whatever you're using it to decorate with, that they can definitely taste the vanilla. You don't want them to just taste sugar and butter. So 3 teaspoons is perfect. After we add those 3 teaspoons, we're going to speed the mixer up for just a bit. The longer that you mix your buttercream frosting, the brighter, the lighter it'll be and the creamier it'll be. But you want to make sure that you don't overmix it. So we're going to let that mix on high for about a good minute until we add our last ingredient into our butter mixture. So here we're mixing it on high for a minute. I think that's a perfectly good time to let it mix. But guys, remember to scrape down your bowl. So this is me scraping down my bowl. I try to get as much as the icing off of the sides and from the bottom as I can so that I can know that my buttercream is mixed well, thoroughly. There are no sticks or pieces of butter in my mixture. This is the reason that I scrape down my bowl continuously throughout the process. It can be a bit tedious, but I promise you guys the end result is phenomenal if you follow these few tips. So lastly, I am going to add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of water. The reason why I add the water last is because once everything is mixed, the water just makes everything a lot more smoother to work with. And it actually makes the frosting a lot more creamier to work with. So once you add that water in, you're going to let your mixer mix on high for another minute. Remember, guys, we're not over mixing it too much. And remember to continue to scrape down your bowl in the process. And this is the final product. The icing is so white. It's thick, but it's very, very creamy and pliable. And you can do different types of borders, all types of creations with your icing, frosting your cake, doing your decorations. I believe this is the perfect icing for that because it's very easy to make and it's very cost efficient as well. And it tastes really good. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, please like, comment if you need to, and share. And as always, catch you next time.